Dorothy Gale had lived her entire life on a farm in Kansas. The endless plains of wheat and corn were as familiar to her as the back of her hand, and she loved the predictable rhythm of farm life. Yet, deep within her heart, she longed for adventure, for something beyond the flat horizons and the relentless Kansas wind. One particularly blustery day, Dorothy found herself staring out across the fields, imagining distant lands and fantastic adventures. The sky grew darker as the wind picked up, and before she knew it, a powerful tornado touched down. Dorothy, along with her faithful dog Toto, sought refuge in the house. But the twister was too strong. It lifted the house off the ground, spinning it higher and higher into the sky. When the house finally landed with a thud, everything was quiet. Tentatively, Dorothy opened the door, expecting to see the familiar Kansas landscape. Instead, she was greeted by a vibrant and colorful land unlike any she had ever seen. Flowers of every hue blossomed around her, and strange, enchanting music filled the air. "Welcome to the land of Oz," a voice called out. Dorothy turned to see a group of small, cheerful people approaching her. They wore bright, festive clothing and had the kindest smiles she had ever seen. "Who are you?" Dorothy asked, bewildered. "We are the Munchkins," one of them replied. "And you have freed us from the wicked witch who ruled over this part of Oz. You see, your house landed right on top of her." Dorothy looked down and saw a pair of legs sticking out from beneath her house. On the feet were the most dazzling pair of ruby slippers. "Those slippers must be very powerful," said a voice behind her. Dorothy turned to see a beautiful woman dressed in white. "I am Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. Those slippers now belong to you. Keep them safe, for they will protect you." "But how do I get home?" Dorothy asked, holding Toto close. "You must go to the Emerald City and ask the Wizard of Oz," Glinda explained. "He is powerful and might be able to help you. Follow the yellow brick road." Dorothy thanked Glinda and the Munchkins and set off on her journey, with Toto trotting beside her. The yellow brick road wound through lush meadows and dense forests, and soon, Dorothy met a Scarecrow standing forlornly in a field. "Hello," she said. "Who are you?" "I'm the Scarecrow," he replied. "I wish I had a brain. I'm stuffed with straw, you see, and I can't think properly. Why don't you come with me to see the Wizard of Oz?" Dorothy suggested. "Maybe he can give you a brain." The Scarecrow's face lit up with hope, and he eagerly joined Dorothy and Toto. The three continued along the yellow brick road, sharing stories and laughter. Before long, they came across a man made entirely of tin, rusted solid in the middle of the path. "Oil can," he croaked. Dorothy quickly found the oil can and freed the Tin Man from his rusty prison. "Thank you," he said, flexing his joints. "I wish I had a heart. I want to feel love and compassion." "Come with us to see the wizard," Dorothy offered. "He might give you a heart." The Tin Man gladly accepted, and the four friends continued their journey. They hadn't gone far when they heard a growl and saw a ferocious-looking lion. "Roar! I'm the king of the forest," the lion roared, though there was a tremor in his voice. But I wish I had courage. I'm scared of everything." "Join us," Dorothy invited. "We're going to see the Wizard of Oz. Maybe he can give you courage." With their new companion, the Cowardly Lion, the group pressed on. The road was long and sometimes treacherous, with dark forests and steep hills. But they faced every challenge together, and their friendship grew stronger with each step. Finally, they reached the magnificent Emerald City. The city shimmered with green jewels, and its beauty took Dorothy's breath away. They were escorted to the wizard's palace, where a grand, imposing figure awaited them. "I am Oz, the great and powerful," the wizard boomed. "What do you seek?" Dorothy stepped forward bravely. "We each have a request, Great Wizard. I wish to return home to Kansas. The Scarecrow wishes for a brain, the Tin Man for a heart, and the Cowardly Lion for courage." The wizard thought for a moment. "I will grant your wishes, but first, you must prove your worth. You must defeat the Wicked Witch of the West, who threatens our land." Though they were frightened, Dorothy and her friends accepted the challenge. They journeyed to the dark, foreboding land where the Wicked Witch of the West ruled. The witch was cunning and cruel, using her flying monkeys and dark magic to thwart her friends at every turn. In a fierce battle, the Wicked Witch captured Dorothy and threatened her. In a desperate moment, Dorothy threw a bucket of water at the witch, not knowing it would melt her away. With the Wicked Witch gone, peace returned to Oz. Dorothy and her friends returned to the Emerald City, where the wizard congratulated them. "You have shown great bravery, intelligence, heart, and courage," he said. "Now, I shall fulfill my promises." He gave the Scarecrow a diploma, symbolizing his newfound wisdom. The Tin Man received a heart-shaped clock, ticking with the rhythm of life. The Cowardly Lion was awarded a medal for his bravery. "But what about me?" Dorothy asked, her eyes filled with longing. Glinda appeared beside her. "You had the power to return home all along," she said. "Just click your heels together 3 times and say, 'There's no place like home.'" Dorothy hugged her friends tightly, tears in her eyes. "I will never forget you," she said. She clicked her heels and repeated the words, "There's no place like home." In an instant, Dorothy found herself back in Kansas, lying on her bed. Aunt Em and Uncle Henry were beside her, their faces filled with relief. "Oh, Aunt Em, I've had the most wonderful adventure," Dorothy exclaimed. "You were dreaming, dear," Aunt Em said gently. But Dorothy knew in her heart that it had been real. She looked at the sky, a smile on her face. Though she was back in Kansas, she knew that the land of Oz would always be a part of her. As she grew older, she carried with her the lessons of courage, heart, wisdom, and friendship that she had learned in that magical place. Dorothy realized that sometimes, the greatest adventures happen in the most unexpected places, and the most important journeys are the ones that help us discover who we truly are. And so, she lived her life with a newfound sense of wonder and joy, always ready for the next adventure, no matter where it might take her.